So my name is Calin Segal. I'm a Romanian-born artist based in Paris. I work with generative processes, parametric design, and computational aesthetics. My main field of focus now revolves around sculptural designs. I'm interested also in VR experiences, XR in general, and kind of installation art as a broad theme. Go for it. So my project revolves around converting data into sculptural objects. I'm mostly focused on finding the rhythm of the city. So since I've been here, I've been working with the Smart Nicosia project, getting the data that they're collecting and transforming it either into visual, sculptural, or other visual formats that allow me to capture the pulse of the city, the interaction between the day and night cycle and the human activity within the urban landscape. I mean, my work is a bit a combination between rigorous mathematical principles and the serendipity of combining artistic expression with forms of new media. Yeah, I really have a hard time looking at like traditional ways of art in terms of conceptual design and so on and so forth. Like I find that's why also systems or generative art talks to me, because it's a very practical way of expressing myself. Like it follows very strict, rigorous processes that are grounded within mathematical bases. So I find that interesting because architecture allowed me to have a design thinking towards problems. So not necessarily only buildings or only interior spaces. It's more about how you approach a problematic and how you come up with your own brief and how you design around the brief that you've decided upon. So it was kind of easy for me to switch to installation art because it had the physicality. At the same time, it had spatial composition. I think sculptures are becoming my preferred medium, though I also really like projection mapping, so I oscillate between the two, so either physical objects or completely digital experiences. I still don't know exactly which one I prefer most. It has to do with how I feel, what kind of opportunities present themselves. That for me, it's more about the process than the final art piece. So if I would choose, it's more about the experience that I had making them. It would be the pavilion that I did at the beginning, which was a roller coaster experience in producing it, finding finance for it, organizing the actual construction of it, being surrounded with all those friends that helped me out. So I think I look at each artwork and I remember more the experience of how it happened than the piece itself. Well, it started off when I was a kid. I was going into clubs and I was seeing the first generation of VJs, the ones that were doing projection mapping in kind of festivals, clubs, and other music-related venues. And that one really inspired me because it was the first time that I saw a different application of technology than the classical way of looking at either fine arts, entertainment media. Like it was somewhere in the middle that captured my attention. Well, it's a combination between commissions, open calls, client-based reference from other clients. It's a mixed match of everything. Like, I don't really have a specific formula for how I do it. It's constantly changing. Every year is different from one another, but the majority of it comes from either European funds, galleries, institutions, museums. I mean, it's kind of, yeah, in a way, yes, you don't have access to the same kind of gallery and museum network that a traditional fine arts background would bring. But at the same time, I'm really seeing a shift in terms of collectors, in terms of institutions, and they're much more open to new media than they were, let's say, 10 years ago. I guess it all boils down to public, right? If you can have a public, then you can have a safe revenue stream. If you can fill up the fridge. I mean, if you can do what you like and be able to sustain yourself, I think that's enough success. Then it depends on the scope of where you want to reach. But I think the minimum is to be able to have an actual life revolving around making stuff that you like, having the experience that you want to have. So as long as I have that, I feel successful. What's my technique for overcoming problems? So I go first through panic, then through hysteria, then self-doubt. Then I go to take a shower, I walk around the house, then go back to hysteria, self-doubt, panic, you know, the loop. And then at one point I'm like, okay, I think I can do it. So no, it was amazing. Like, it was really an amazing opportunity for me, because having a laboratory by hand where you can quickly prototype, iterate, and move from concept to ideation to final production really helps a lot. And I didn't have to wait for, so let's say I send it to a manufacturer, the manufacturer comes back after 2 weeks, I already forgot what I was thinking when I made it. So it was a very fluid relationship between what I wanted to do, I was doing it, the feedback that I was getting, so it really nurtured this creative process.
What was the last thing you looked up online? If you could
I'm not gonna answer that.